So my name's Emily. I am 26 years old, and August 15th of 2012, I got in a car accident with some friends. I'm gonna let you hold it. Too much.
I got you.
All right, so I got in a car accident with some friends. I was not driving, I was a passenger. So the driver started to go off the road, and the girl in the passenger seat jerked the steering wheel back over, and that overcorrected the car. So heads up, don't ever touch anybody's steering wheel. But anyway, it caused the car to flip, and you know, when a 3,000-pound car comes down on your neck and you survive it with no brain injury, it is a miracle. And I did survive it because I'm here today. I was care flighted to Big Baylor, Dallas. When I was first injured, I could not move my arms. So I have a C5 incomplete spinal cord injury. I was in ICU for a while. I couldn't move my arms. I was on a ventilator. So it was a lot. And most families, most people do not know much about the world of paralysis because it is rare, but it does exist. And so I learned very quickly what this was and what I was going to need to do to not only survive this, but find a way to thrive, you know, in a country where our healthcare isn't the best. As Riley was saying, when something like this happens, you know, you get your traditional rehab, and that's going to last about 2 months, and then they're going to send you on your way, and you're going to be left to figure out, you know, what that is. So that's where an organization like Able Faith comes along, where we go beyond that traditional, you know, rehab. And I just look at it like, you know, something like this, it's the one minority group that anybody can be a part of at any time. And so, you know, this is a good thing to contribute to, because you never know if you're contributing to, you know, your own family member. But I'm a go-getter, and I wasn't going to let that stop me. So I got my GED immediately after. And then I went straight into my associates, and I got that. And I went straight into my bachelor's, and I got that. And I went straight into my master's, and I got that. And I am now a licensed professional counselor for the state of Texas. So, you know, I can't even begin to explain what it took for me to get to this point. I'm sure you all can imagine. It was a lot. I had to be a trailblazer. If you don't see a way, you have to learn to make a way. And that's what I did. I didn't really see a way. I saw a lot of barriers. You know, we're talking about the lines on the ground. I didn't know what that was before I was paralyzed. Wasn't my life. I didn't think about it. But then it happened to me, and you know, when you know better, you do better. And so we got to stop giving out handicap stickers like Tic Tacs. We got to stop parking on the lines. You know, we got to stop paying CNAs $9 an hour. You know, these are all things that are that paralyzed people have to deal with. You know, we talk about isolation. We talk about how COVID changed this country. Well, people like me and Riley been experiencing COVID before COVID was here, you know? So, Able Faith, that's what we do. We make a way. If you survive something like this, we recognize that quality of life is still important. And I also live on my own now, which is a very, very rare thing for a quadriplegic to live outside of their family's home. But I work, I live completely by myself. I manage all of my care. It is a full-time job, one that I do not get paid for. But if I can do it, so can someone else. You know, we have to look at our stories like it'll be a survival guide for somebody else one day. So that's why I keep going, and that's why I do what I do, because I'm not the first and I will not be the last. And I want the next person to be able to say, you know what, I can call on Emily or Riley because they've been there, done that. So that's a little of my story.
Thank you. Thank you, FirstRate and FirstRate Management, for providing me the opportunity to present the organization that I support. It's called Bloom to Life. About Bloom to Life, it is founded in 2015. Our mission is to create awareness, CHD awareness in USA. We sponsor heart surgeries for kids in India, like with CHDs. And we are 501c tax exempt organization. What is congenital heart disease, right? Like most of them may not be aware. Like it results from when a heart or a vessel near the heart is not developed at the time of the birth or even before the birth also. So over 2.4 million people in US have some form of CHD. About 40,000 kids are born every year with CHD. 1 in every 100 kids have CHD by default. And most of the infant death happens within 28 days of their born. So I'm going to explain why BTL, like in upcoming slides. I will introduce Ganesh. He is the founder and my friend. He is going to speak about how this organization started, about the kids, and then I will connect later.
Thanks, Karthik. Good morning, everyone, with FirstRate. First of all, my sincere gratitude to Reverend Blake, Dave, and everybody in FirstRate for giving us an opportunity to present here. You know, when I came here, I prepared something to talk, but I'm going to talk something else. I'm very emotional at this moment. I truly believe everything happens for a reason. I truly believe we are all connected some way or the other. I walked in, I had 10 minutes of conversation with Dave, and then I see this lovely, beautiful lady here, Emily. She had her accident on August 15th. That's the day I was born. I don't know how else I can connect these dots, right? Synchronously. I was born a long time ago, before 2012. Okay, I'm very old. But I wanted to start a story. I'm still emotional, but I'm going to start a story from 2008, and then I'll come to 2015. And I have a connection with 2012 too. In 2008, I had a realization in my life. The realization was, I realized I will die one day. I'm not immortal. Until that day, I did not know. I swear to God. You know what helped me to have this realization? Scotch. Seriously, try it. You will get realization. It's a single malt. It's a single malt. Always, like Lagavulin or Oban is the best. Jokes apart, I realized I came into this world empty-handed. When I called my mom and I asked her, when I was born, did I bring anything with me? She said no, but she also told me, you did bring your good karma with you, right? And I realized when I go, I'm not going to take anything with me, but I'm going to take the karma with me. And then I realized along the way, I was born in a small town in India where my mom was 16 years old when she gave birth to me, and my dad was 18 years old. And he was doing engineering in a very prestigious college in India, and I was born when he was in second year of college. You can imagine how it would be for having a kid when you're in second year of college. But I didn't have any disabilities. I was a normal child. My friends call me I'm crazy. Don't believe them, right? So what I did in 2008 was I set out to start a company. I named it In Core, Going Within Your Core, where 20% of the employees were special needs people. And it was a manufacturing facility, and we did extremely well in making a social impact where a 52-year-old autistic person had his first job, first paycheck. To me, we gave dignity back to that person, right? And even today, every day I wake up with this thought, what can I do to make a difference in the younger generation? Making the long story short, I always believe business is the greatest platform for change. That's why I started that business. But business has profit and loss. Let me come fast forward to 2011. Because I started in 2008, it was economic meltdown. We had 500 employees, but for every dollar we sold, my cost of production was $20. So we lost my shirt. I lost all my wealth. On November 7th, 2011, I was in streets. But if I had to do all over again, I will do it a million times. I won't change a thing. I will not change a thing. And I still believe in giving opportunities for everybody in this world. And I still do that today, right? But nature prepares you, or God prepares you for a bigger game by giving you a bitter pill to swallow. I did not know why I had to go through that at that moment. On November 7, 2011, I had a 3-year-old daughter at the time, and my wife was 8 weeks pregnant. And we had to give our keys to the bank, and we were homeless on that day. But I promised myself that we will come in multiple ways. And I had to move to California on that time because I did not want to be in Atlanta, where I was there for 12 years, because it was a little bit of embarrassing for you to become bankrupt. It's not easy to be bankrupt. And interestingly, one more connection. My friend invited me to their house. We stayed there for 3 months to restart our life. Her name is Punita. It happens to be her birthday today. How many connections could we have? What is the signals? I don't know, right? Today morning, I sent her a birthday wish, and I thanked her for all the generosity they showed to us. If I still think about it, I tear up, because here I am from a family where I studied very well. I came to this country, made myself a mark, made millions of dollars, and then I'm homeless with a wife. We didn't have a health insurance. If you don't have health insurance in this country, you can't even have a childbirth. And my son, I told Dave today, from the moment he was born, he was in the embryo, from that time he became my teacher, right? Now I am a dad, going to be a dad for the second child, don't have money to pay for my son's insurance for the birth. And I don't have a job. Nobody likes a failed CEO, by the way. Nobody gives you a job. They ask me, do you know supply chain? I had a 1 million square foot of warehouse. Every day we ship 300,000 packages, 100 truckloads. You walk with me to Costco, I'll tell you how the 200 billion comes into Costco, how every item is. But I still couldn't get a job. Because I don't have a job, I don't have an insurance. Because I don't have an insurance, I can't have a childbirth. Now, there was an insurance company there was a non-profit organization in California which gives insurance to people under poverty and who had had insurance the previous year that will cover your pregnancy. So I got selected for that, and I was under poverty at that time. I had only $3,000 left in my bank account, so I got selected, and my son was born through that insurance. That day, I'm sorry, I'm a little emotional, but that day I promised myself, I'll come back. This is not going to be ever, because money comes, money goes. We got to be stronger than ever, stronger than ever. The first thing I did was, again, August 15th in 2012 is when I got the job with Trinity, the company that I'm with right now. On August 15th, I joined with them. On 2012, the day that you had your accident.
We were both getting stronger that day.
Absolutely. So the first thing I asked my company is, I want to unlearn and learn, and I want to go to Stanford. So here I am, a homeless guy who's getting a nice job. I'm asking to go to Stanford. My company paid for it, $70,000 to go to Stanford. I'm very thankful to Trinity for what I am today. And Srinath is the CEO of the company. He made me what I am today. I'm very, very thankful to them. Let me come back to the story of Blow to Life, how it was formed now. So now you know that I came to this point. I promised myself that one day I'll get an opportunity to help others. That one day came in 2015, April, when I was visiting India. My office was in India, Trinity's office. We have 300 employees there. So while I was going to the office, there was a car driver who was dropping me from office to hotel and picking me up. He was very sad. It turns out he has a 3-year-old child who might die any moment because of a heart problem that the child has. So every day, when she runs 10 feet, she faints. You cannot ask a toddler not to run. So she faints 10 times a day, so he's expecting her to die any moment. Then I asked him, when did he go to the doctor? He said, it's been 2 years. I didn't have money to go to the doctor. So I took the child to a heart specialist, a cardiologist, and they said it's a blue baby syndrome where there's a hole in the heart, the good blood and the bad blood gets mixed up, you don't have enough oxygen, so the child is fainting. Now, the moment he said that, I asked him, is it curable? He said, it's called blue baby syndrome. It's a completely curable disease if you do the surgery within 5 years of age. And it just costs $5,000 to do a surgery. Should a child die for $5,000? Now, the bulb went in my head. This is the calling. This is what the nature has been preparing me for. That moment, I decided we're going to help the child. I came back to India, and on April 23rd, 2015, from India, I came back to Bay Area, and that day was my other best friend's birthday. His name is also Ganesh. Too many birthdays today, right? And I spoke with a couple of my friends. We pitched the money together, and we did the first surgery on April 2015. Then I thought, why don't we do it as an organization? My friends gave the name as Bloom to Life. You remove one obstacle and let the child bloom. And July 2015 is when it was officially registered. By the time the second child came in June, and this child, we found him when he was like 9 days old. A letter came. Now, how do you find the second child and the third child and the fourth child? The doctor who gave this child's letter became my good friend instantly, and she became the co-founder of this organization. So Bloom to Life has been found by me and my wife, Saumi, and Dr. Sangeeta. We are the three founders of this organization. So this child, I'm sorry, I took 5 minutes to talk about my story. So this child, we did the surgery when he was 22 days old. He had a condition called great artery transposition syndrome. What that, in simple terms, you have a tube which takes good blood to the body, that's called arteries, and then the bad blood comes in through veins into the heart to clean up. These two things are inversed, meaning that it is transposed. So you have to reconstruct that surgery, reconstruct the artery and the ventricle. Imagine the child's heart is only a thumbnail size, and the artery and the ventricles are the size of my non-existing hair. That is the most complex surgery in the human body. In the United States, the surgery costs $300,000. In India, it costs $4,000. And if you don't do the surgery within 30 days of the child's birth, the child will die 100% within 9 to 10 months of age. Within the first year, the child will die. Today, he is 8 years old, and he had his first Ramadan, this year, and he is alive because of Bloom to Life. To me, the numbers doesn't matter. It is one child. The child is important. Emily is important to her parents. Riley is important to his parents. You know, it is so important that we focus on the next child in need, is how we built this organization. So I have built a $100 million company before. I had 11,500 employees before. I just reflected on my life, and I realized if you run too fast, you're going to fall. So the first 7 years, we kept it in the stealth mode. We put the pipeline in place. So we just focused on one cause, heart surgeries. That's it. And we just focused on the next one child in need. As of today morning, we have helped save 74 children with heart surgeries. Thank you. So this is the second child. I have one more child as an example. I want to touch upon these three. This child, his name is Arjun. He has Down syndrome. And when the request came, this child had 30% chance of survival. It was a very complex surgery. We went ahead and did the surgery for this child. Today he's 6 years old. Look at the happiness in his face. And for that parent, he is everything. That's what we do. Next time. Thank you. And this child, her name is Lakshmi. We did the surgery when she was 11 years old. Today she's 17 years. She's as beautiful as Emily is. One day she'll get married and have a child. You know, this is what Bloom to Life does. Now, what we have done is 1 in 100 children are born with congenital heart disease, or 1 in 100 children have heart problem. What we are doing right now is, in the United States, we are creating the awareness on this problem. And one of the interesting aspects of this congenital heart disease is, if you do the surgery when it is a newborn stage, it's like a cleft lip surgery. You don't need to have follow-ups. They will have a normal life after that. And what we're doing is, Walmart has made us as a preferred nonprofit. I've done business with Walmart before, so I understand how they work. So now we have 6,000 stores across the United States where we can do awareness events. So all of the Bloom to Life people are volunteers. So as a volunteer on a Sunday, we just go, do 2 tables and a couple of banners, and then we stand there. People ask for it, we explain what it is. We don't do solicitation, we don't ask for money, we just say what it means to do this Bloom to Life. Now, we did an awareness event in a Hindu temple to begin with. So only we started it this year to do the awareness. We have done around 8 or 9 events so far. Today will be the 10th event that we are doing while talking to you. And on March 28th, I believe, we had an awareness event in a CISO conference which happened in the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. And it was a fantastic event. And I think to top that event is today's event, where we met with Able Faith, and we're doing the event along with them. I think this is the best event that we have done for date, actually. I think, Karthik, you want to take over? So far, this today this was done 3 days ago. In the last 3 days, we have added 4 more children. So that's why it is 74. Yeah.
Thank you, Ganesh. Okay, highlights about like Bloom to Life. We have saved so far like 74 kids so far. 100% of the donations goes to the Heart Surgeries. There is 0% admin cost because like everything is run by volunteers. We have tied up with best hospitals in India. Primarily, like what Ganesh always says is, if our child has a problem, where we will take. We are going to take to a best hospital. Let's do the surgeries in best hospital. And we involved in like CHD awareness throughout US. A lot of people ask me like, why BTL? Like, why you are doing Bloom to Life? Even like last week, like I was in a client call, he saw my logo in my t-shirt. He asked like, Karthik, what is that logo? Like I explained about like Bloom to Life. So he said like, Karthik, why did you choose Bloom to Life? There is a big story I'm just going to say. Okay, so it's a story about baby of Divya. So baby of Divya, like I think so like last month, like we received a call from one of the best doctors in India. He called and said, we have a child, 19 days old child. They came to us with $100 rupees in their packet.
$1.
Yeah, it is like $1.2, like in US dollars, right? So they don't have any money, and like it needs just a single surgery with like maybe $1,200 or $1,500. We will be able to operate, and like we will be able to make sure that kid is like healthy throughout the life. So within 2 minutes, Ganesh was able to approve that surgery, and like within 4 hours, the surgery was done. Like we removed a lot of bureaucratic red tapes. So any request comes in, it is processed very quick. And how it is connected to me, right? Like few of them may be aware of health issues of my son. In 2018, my son had an immune issue, and he was hospitalized for almost 52 days. During that time, it is very difficult time in my lifetime. Like my son was in one hospital, and my wife was in another hospital delivering my second baby. And it is like 4 miles away. Like I need to run between the hospitals. I had like wonderful friends. So I know the pain what parents go through. When I hear this,
it's okay. Sorry, Karthik. So his son had, issues in the brain, and he was hospitalized for 52 days. He couldn't have a normal speech. They have to give a speech therapy. He has to go through rehabilitation. He's only like, he's now 12 years old, but this is 2017, right? 2018, so 5 years before. So he must be around 6, 7 years old. And the journey that Karthik went through has made him what he is today. And not just that, he has also given blood from his age 17. And he has O negative blood, which is the most rare group. And he has been a blood donor from age 17. For the last 15, 16, or 17 years, he has been a blood donor. And on January 14th, I had my first event in Bentonville. It was a Indian community event, and I gave a speech. And he saw that speech because his son and my son are classmates. And my wife and his wife are friends. And I have never met Karthik until January 14th. Lucky you. So on January 14th, he saw the video of my speech, and then he called right away and he said, hey, I work for this great company called FirstRate, where we believe in social and economic impact. And what you're talking about is very close to me. I've been giving blood for so many years. I want to be part of this organization. And from that day, every day we've been spending like hours. And I truly believe if the way that we need to do this whole thing is, we put the platform, focus on one cause and make it repeatable. And we made it repeatable for the last 7 years. Till December of 2022, we've helped save 46 children. From January 1st till today, just in the 3 months, we have done more than 25 surgeries, 50% of the 7 years. So we are scaling right now, right? When we scale, there are 3 things that is needed. One, you gotta have the right, because patient's journey is important, doctor's journey is important. So we have tied up with the world's best doctor. The medical chair of our doctor, his name is Dr. Krishna Kumar. He has done around 26,000 surgeries. So he's in top 3 in the world. And so we have the best doctors. You need technology to make things happen. So we have, so these are the doctors. This is Dr. Sangeeta Vishwanath. Dr. KK, he's a Harvard graduate. And then he moved to India in '97. And in the last 25 years, he has helped more than 26,000 children. And Dr. Sangeeta is a pediatric interventional cardiologist. She has helped thousands of children. She has dedicated her life for children's cause. Next slide, please. And this is Dr. Brajesh. He is one of the finest doctors, surgeons that you can see in the world. He does around 800 to 900 surgeries a year, especially in pediatric cardiologies. Some of the pediatricians only do like 300 surgeries in their lifetime. He does like 800 surgeries a year. And he's one of the top 10 in the world right now. And this is Dr. Nivelle Solomon. And he's, again, a top surgeon who works for Apollo Hospital. And he does like 1,000 surgeries a year. I mean, these are all like one of those noble people who have dedicated their life, and they are part of our board. And what you also need is technology. So we have Salesforce as our donor management system. We got Google Suites as our workspace. And Karthik was the one who rolled out Salesforce and made exceptionally beautiful for us. We use Canva, we use Microsoft Office. So we have leveraged technology to help us. AbleFaith, if you have not leveraged technology, we can help you with that. I know how to get these licenses for free if you're a 501c3. So you don't need to pay money for any of the technologies. We will help you with that. So I think that's one thing that we have built it as a platform. And lastly, I want to talk about the model that how we have built it. Just one more minute. Last slide. One more slide is there. So what we do is we help 1% of the global population because it's 1 in 100 children. That is the future of the world. Secondly, we focus on the next one child in need. Lastly, if you do one surgery, these children will have a normal life. That's the 1-1-1 model that we do. Last slide. So how could you help? Because she asked that question. I want to answer the question that, how could you help? So there are 3 ways you can help. Let's say we are very rich. It's only $3,000 per child. Sponsor as many child as you want. Let's say, no, I'm not rich, I'm okay, I'm living a normal life. It's okay, just pay like $50, $100, like a subscription, like how you pay for a cable or for a phone. So if 20 of us come together and pay $100, it saves 1 child, right? That's the model. Let's say I don't have either. That's the best part. Give your time. Time is more valuable than anything else. And all of this is run by volunteers. As of December last year, we had 9 volunteers. But as of today, we have 60 volunteers. By end of the year, we're looking at 500. So when we have so much task ahead of us, whatever you're good at, we'll be able to give you that opportunity. Now, the way we run the organization, again, is a playbook I took from Trinity's playbook, is we do not have managers inside Bloom to Life. It's always mentors and mentees. And people don't need to worry about how much time I can give. Even if you give 2 hours a week, that's fine. 1 hour a week, that's fine. Or 10 hours a week. You decide on the time, you decide on how you want to do it, we'll take it and we'll make it happen. With that, I take leave, and I really appreciate the opportunity that's given here. Thank you.
All right, we have time for one quick question for Ganesh or Karthik. So is there anyone that would like, Kate, all the way in the back, yell.
Do you have a global vision for this, or are you now just kind of implementing in India for now until that makes
I'm glad that you asked this question. I was wanting somebody to ask this question. Thank you. It is a global organization. You got to start somewhere. So we started local in India. But even in India, we started with a one region first. Now we do all over India. Today we had one child from Meghalaya. We did a child from Assam yesterday. We have done a child from Kashmir. We have done a child from South India. So all over India we're doing it right now. The next phase is going to be the SAARC countries. And then the third phase is going to be other regional countries. In the United States, what we are planning to do is each surgery costs $300,000 or $100,000. So there is a pediatric conference that is coming in August where the world's pediatricians are going to be there. And in that, we are going to find pediatricians who are willing to sponsor their time. Once we tie up those things, we should be able to do the surgeries in the United States. So my goal is within the next 12 to 24 months, we should have programs in the United States to do the surgeries. That's number one. But before that, we already started doing in America, doing the awareness campaigns. All of these awareness campaigns cost money. And we are doing that already to bring the awareness. And the third thing we're going to do is we're going to have social workers like Emily talk to people, parents who are having congenital heart disease kids, to give them counseling, because you need counseling. So that is a service that we're going to start with first. That will happen within the next 3 to 6 months. So it's a global organization. 1% of the world population is what we are targeting. Thank you.